Good morning. Welcome to Your Known Unknown, where Source and I will help to shed light on what's unknown for you. Welcome to your daily spread. If you found this video today, it's meant to find you. There's a message here for you. It was meant to be. So without further ado, let's get to it. Let's intuit. Let's pull some cards. Spirits, guides, ancestors, universe, source, divine creator, higher self that you are and all that I am. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're going to start off with some Grace card oracle cards. We're going to pull Soul's Journey oracle cards and numerology guidance cards. Then after that, we're going to hop right into the tarot and see what messages we have for us in store today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please pull cards for us for the viewers. Please allow us to intuit this appropriately, perfectly, effectively, and efficiently. Thank you, thank you, thank you. First card up is Chance. Take the leap. Divine protection is always by our side. Chance. Have another one for us. An opportunity might be in store for us today. Subtle and simple, or it might be exuberant. Let's see. Devotion. Stay connected to the divine. Pray, express your gratitude, or ask for help out loud. Make the practice of devotion a daily habit. Divine protection is always by your side. So, looks like some doors are opening up for us today. They might be opening up more to us in a higher vibration. So we want to practice, implement our practices. We want to express our gratefulness and be aware of our environment just right off the bat. We want to just this morning, right now, pause the video for a minute, stop and look around you, and find one thing that you're grateful for, and then express in your mind how grateful you are for that thing, and just sit with that for a minute. And that kind of stuff helps raise your vibration up. If you can do that with more than one thing, that's the best. If you can do that all the time with everything that you visualize or everything that happens to you, especially the negative things, be grateful. Stop, take a breath, calm yourself down, and then just tell yourself, this is a lesson. I'm grateful for this lesson. Thank you. Please show me a way out of it. And then be patient, and it will happen. Imagination. I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. So I'm seeing there's kind of like, let's see here. Let me pull one more for us. Show me one card. Just the one card. Imagination. Numerology deck. Wow, this one right here. Spirituality. Oh yeah, 3 just popped up. We have communication, and we have physical activity. We have number 67, number 33, and 77, especially the communication. Gold card. I've never pulled this card out of this deck before. It's always good to see new ones. I'm hearing, especially if you're a spiritual being, physical activity is extremely important for you in particular. It is for everybody. But when you unlock awareness to certain levels and degrees, I find that it's easy to let the body be and not push, and more like push your spiritual muscles, push your emotional control and restraints, and opening up your mental capacity. You open up your channels. Physical activity and spirituality go hand in hand. I'm seeing this communication card sitting between those two cards. In fact, this communication card is kind of sitting between physical activity and the other 4 oracle cards. So communication between self to self is what channels we're working on opening up, should be working on opening up. It's kind of like appreciate the instrument the divine has offered you. You are a divine vehicle, a divine instrument for them to experience through, and you want your instrument to be in tune so you can get downloads, so you can upgrade, so you can connect deeper to your imagination, to your devotion, to the opportunities that the universe has in store for you, and to your own spiritual evolution. It's actually pretty interesting. The more you develop your spiritual attunement, there's no moment wasted. The only moments wasted are that in which you've chosen and then willed. You decide to relax and do nothing. You decide to meditate. You decide to pull tarot as a choice, not an obligation. You don't feel you don't feel like something doesn't go without a purpose. Anything at all. And the doors will open up from the universe for you to step through. You work on yourself. The universe will hint and nudge and whispers and subtleties where and what and who you are next. Or, you'll get downloaded imaginative thoughts and you get inspired by a thought and you're like, that's what I want to do. And if you go and do that, the divine recognizes that, sees you trying and experiencing that which they have in store for you as a new experience. They're stoked. Whether you like what you're doing or not, you don't have to do it again. But the fact is you experienced something new. You broke outside your box. Or you finally took up the thing that has been weighing on your mind for a while, or something. It's in your imagination. And between devotion and imagination and faith, the only two things you're lacking on are outward expression of your creative energy and your physical activity, your physical body, health, movement. All of the above raise your vibration. All of it. If you're feeling mediocre and you want to feel better, do gratefulness practices. Try breathing practices. Try meditating. Try gifting somebody an unconditional compliment of love. Hey, I just wanted to call to say how much I appreciate having you in my life. And through the ups and downs, I just wanted to say that nothing can come close to the gratefulness that I have experienced and the appreciation that I have of you, of your soul just being in general. And you're like, thanks, Mom and Dad, or something, like whoever you're talking to. But it's not to receive anything back. You're fully, if you feel so-so, Do that. It pushes you into great things. Go and charitably give to somebody. Seriously. Giving to somebody feels so good. It feels so good. And maybe you're super down on yourself because you don't have to give and you just want to give and it's overburdening. Well, we start small. Okay? We start very small and we work our ways up. I've only been doing this spiritual path for, I don't know, I mean, theoretically our whole lives, but really the conscious door started opening up to me maybe 5 years ago, I'd say. And I've witnessed this immense snowball effect where I could say these last 5 years felt way longer than those 5 years. And I can also pick out moments in my life where I had nothing to give, but I still split what I had with somebody who I saw could use it as well. And I would, I'm going to say, withheld from self, but really I just recognized I didn't need all that too. And so I'd gift out of love and kindness and support, not expecting good karma or anything back. And 10 out of 10 times I felt good doing that. I do not regret the decisions I made. Not one time. And I had nothing then. I've been homeless. I've been living on the gutter before. I've lived in the front seat of my car for years. This is the second house that I've lived in the last 6-7 years. You know? Besides some crappy apartments or something here and there at the beginning of my spiritual awakening and all the chaos, but I left those to go and fall into those spiritual awakenings and the chaos that came from that. So what I'm getting at is these small acts of nothingness do move mountains. They do. You should try them out. Don't go forcing them. Just let them bubble out of you naturally, because you are an amazingly sweet being at heart and by nature, behind the traumas, behind the negative feelings and the routine emotions that you put yourself in. That could be negative, that could be stress, that could seem busy, that could be okay, that could just be a bad mood, whatever you are prone to. Shifting through that is the power that you hold. It's the alchemical power to move emotions on your choosing. And that kind of fluid communication and self to self can really only happen if you are in tune. Not fully in tune, just tuning up aspects. You have to be working towards this. You have to, and what do we work towards? What paths? Mind, body, and or soul. Okay? And those are like where you start. So when you're hearing me talk right now and I say, what field do you need to develop more? The first thought that comes into your mind, into your feeling, into your awareness is blank. And that's the path that you should focus on prioritatively. And you work on one and other aspects will fall into place. Then you'll go and pick up the slack in other departments, and then the other ones will fall into place. Blah, blah, blah. And so it goes. They work intrinsically. You don't have to really psych yourself out thinking, oh God, this is going to take forever. Like if I go master my body, then how am I going to master my soul? Well, they really do go hand in hand, because as you're working on your body, you are developing physical discipline, mental discipline, health, vitality, every element that's inside your being, blood, tissue, fascia, awareness, consciousness, all this shit that's being held in your vehicle is needing purification. And imagine if you were completely purified as a human being, how great you would feel. You'd probably feel really high, you know? Well, in return, if you practice your spirituality and mind and mentality, you meditate, you get more discipline. That's discipline that you can apply towards physical activities again, because you're like, oh man, I've got this and do that. They go hand in hand, is what I'm saying. And discipline is just one facet of many. So I'm just saying practices will open up doors. Saying whoever this is very much aware of this mind, body, soul aspect and what that can imply. I'm feeling like whoever this is needing a little bit of guidance, just like we all do. We all love guidance. Nobody likes to do this crap on our own. 5 of Pentacles. Destitution. 9 of Cups. Fulfillment. And the Strength card for us today. Strength or lust. I kind of enjoy the Thoth Tarot description and of the Strength card. It makes a lot of sense, especially us being primordial human beings, where, especially being in this society that's programmed us to be, but we're trapped a lot in our primal sense and in our root chakra. So when things like love or lust pop up into our awareness, it usually weakens us, and we're kind of at the whim of the other person. You know what I mean? Like, even if you are with a person, with a partner, married happily for a long time, if that person comes up to you and is like, hey babe, it's, kids are asleep, and you would be like, ooh yeah, I'm super excited, let's get it, whereas what were you doing a minute ago? I know it's not wasting your time, and I know it's, connecting with your partner, but the act of lust is extremely physical related. Yes, there's love behind it, but not for everybody. Not everybody experiences love with lust and acts of such. I feel like the majority of us don't experience true love with the lust that's connected to the physicalities of that connection. But it's a very easily gripping demon, that lust. It's kind of programmed into humanity as the base thing. You don't have to drink, you don't have to smoke, but chances are you probably are attracted to people, and that itself is a lacking of discipline, theoretically. You think somebody's hot, don't want to be with them, just tell them, hey, you're beautiful, and I just want to let you know that, and then go. That's unconditional. That's kindness. And that's not invading into somebody else's awareness and disrupting their moment to moment due to something that you want, from them, want of them. Like, nah. That shit's gross. Don't do that. I'm going to say it. Don't be a fuckboy, Don't do it. It's not worth it. You're not cute, dude. And women, same thing for you. Don't go using men just for gain. It's not fun. Be strong. Anyways, the 5 of Pentacles mixed with the 9 of Cups is exactly what I'm saying here. You need to find strength in the nothingness. Even nothing is something. I'm sorry. Even nothing is something. Think about that. But literal, understanding, nothingness, yes, means nothing. But that, as the connecting describer, is the something that you're describing about, that you're connecting to. Even nothing is something. So even if you have nothing, there's something to be grateful for within that. Dear universe, thank you for taking all of my money away, literally, and throwing me into heaps of massive debt. Somehow, some way, I know that this is meant for me to learn a lesson, and I pray to you to help me see that and guide me through this as quickly and effectively and gently as possible. If I did not be so without, I would not be finding the inner strength to even make this prayer here right now out of gratefulness to you. So in your name, thank you, thank you, thank you. That shit works. Thank you for removing all financial cushioning I've ever had in my life, universe. I do not see it now, but I know somehow this is allowing me to cultivate something in which you have in store to better myself. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You can go on and on and on. You just got to use a bit of your imagination. That's gratefulness 101. That's how you do it. You put the something into the nothing that you're experiencing, and eventually everything will be something. I know this firsthand. When I got first introduced into my gratefulness practices, I wasn't in a place where I could learn about it, so I downloaded it. And I started doing this thing, and it came really naturally. Well, finally, when I had my freedom and I was able to start looking this kind of stuff up, I had stopped the practices because I didn't know it was really a continuous thing. For a long time, I had stopped the practices, and I recognized that when I wanted to start again, I didn't find as many things as I naturally did when I was first getting downloaded it. Like when I first started got downloaded it, I started just writing stuff, and it came out like scripture. It was so good, and it worked really well. However, the second time it all started happening, it came out like effort and like a child learning how to read and write again. I had to stop and start to look for the things that I was grateful for. However, after just a couple of days of this practice, I started to free flow more gratefulness out of me. I'd wake up, and it's like the things that I'm not even really grateful for consciously, I was grateful for in those 10 sentences of devotion that I was appreciating and sitting in an energy of gratuity for. They started just coming out, and then the scripture started growing again, like the tastefulness of how I was describing this, the connection to the words from the emotions that I'm experiencing started to flow again. So I know it's a muscle. I know it works out. So you just got to be a little patient, have a little strength, and sit within that. Oops. Lots of cards. My bad. What energies do we need to navigate through this here today? So you're going to, today is kind of like I don't have a whole lot, but it's an extremely fulfilling energy because we're finding this power within us, and we're appreciating and coming to terms with the nothingness. I will say, lastly, back alongside with this gratuity, when I'm feeling really down, stressed out, like I'm lacking, like I'm destitute of everything, you got to think outside of your life's box for a minute and think about how there are so many other people, how many unfortunate people who are less fortunate than you are. Do you have no money for gas? Well, you have a car. You have a phone if you're watching this, or a computer or tablet or something. I know you're not going to your local library just to watch one Year Known Unknown video, So somehow you're fueling your own contentedness. And if you're not appreciative of that which you have, you'll feel out in the cold the whole time. But if you do find a way to shift your mindset and you feel just fine with what's here now, and you stop with the mentality of, ooh, the next thing will make me happy, ooh, the next thing will make me happy, then you're finding your 9 of Cups, a sense of well-being and fulfillment. And it doesn't take a long time, really. It just takes a little strength. I feel like we're kind of finding a good sense a good footing of that today. At the bottom of the deck, Nine of Wands, resilience. Do you want it to be reversed? Resilience, yeah. You're finding your resilience. You're able to. Or, you're going to. Maybe something is burdening you in the back of your head. And I just say finances because that is the most applicable and connective idea, an example that I can offer. But maybe it's more like an emotional exchange or a situation that's kind of burdening you a little bit and leaving you with this feeling. One thing that I've been hearing and seeing in my own path is that through spiritual awakenings, especially without guidance, external guidance or the trust of a guru or a master or something like that, you're kind of left on your own to fend for it and figure it out. You have to learn how to trust your thoughts and listen to them, listen within. Through that, there are aspects that have not been in my focus, and there are aspects that have been highly in focus. Because I've been very excited for some things, but I've also neglected some other things in my life, that I'm like, or in my mental awareness or my psychology, that I'm just like, shoot, probably could have addressed that a little bit quicker and better. But no, everything's perfectly as it's supposed to be, somehow, some way, and you have to believe that. So what I'm finding is this push and pull within myself, that I really want one thing. And I have found a way for it to be perfect if I can find the one thing. But it's not lined up with my true self's path. Now, what do you want? I want love, beauty, and appreciation. I want a partner to spend the rest of my life with too. The perfect partner, Perfect partner. We all want love and connection. But I have the universe telling me, like, yeah, you can make that choice and you can experience that. You have learned so much from your past. You are now wisdomful in discernment and able to find a partner that you can trust and exchange yourself with and get to know and entangle and mesh and grow and unify. But it will take away from you understanding your true life's purpose, stepping into your higher self's path. And I'm like, what? Can't I do both? And they're like, yeah, but you live in time and the third dimension. So it's not now. And I'm like, dang. And once I came to terms with that, and I was like, dang, okay, well, that's a death moment right there. That's an ego death. I've had to come to terms with finding love of self, compassion of self, over externalizing my own wants and needs. It's had to create a strength that I've never experienced before. It's had to do all this other stuff. But anyways, sometimes what we want is what I'm getting at. What we want isn't really what we're intended for. And we will still get them because we are co-creators. So you're definitely the strongest creator here right now, and you can go and do the things. But if a lot of shit is happening to you in your life and just stacking up against you, it's probably a good sign to recognize not to be doing those things. If you're like, my car is constantly breaking down, then what are you doing every single day or week that is not lining up, that's not fulfilling you? And that's your car giving you a sign, being like, don't leave your house today. Don't go see that person. Don't do the same shit that you're doing. I'm going to keep breaking and breaking, and the universe is going to keep putting holdups and road blockages and things in your way to make you be like, yo, stop. Listen to us. We're trying to show you that you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. All right? Sorry we had to show you this way. It was the only way that was going to get you to stop. We had to break your car. Or we had to drain your account. Or we had to lose your keys again. Or something. That's how they start to do it. They'll start to give you the hiccups in your self and in your path, so you can then see that it's not lined up. Then once you flip the script and start working through those hiccups a little bit, you get out of the destitution, you fight through those hiccups and you recognize them as teachings, lessons, and guidance from the universe. And it's not so much, damn it, I have bad luck. You don't have bad luck. You're just not looking at the signs, and you're looking externally and materialistically. You don't have bad luck. You create your own luck. After long enough of weeding through those hiccups and fine-tuning what it is that you're supposed to do, the hiccups stop. You'll probably be a little skeptical at first, looking out for other hiccups, but no, they will come. But the way that they come is completely different after you start to kind of get rid of your foot tracks from the last path you were on. And you start to put new foot tracks on these other paths. The universe is guiding you to another path. A lot of us are in this area where we're leaving one path and going to another. And you're just in this limbo, just waiting. So be patient. Keep your practices about you. We're all in the same energy of this chapter shifting together. We really are. And know this. It's all happening astrologically, celestially. It's new energies for us. It's weird. You're in a limbo of understanding now what you like, want, love, but looking towards avenues of expressing it externally. That's how you do this. So we have the Two of Wands. So we're finding that even nothing is something, and we're grateful for that somehow, some way. Within that, it's unlocking doors to help show how you can project your creativity, your imagination, where we're going to go from this. What can I do with this? How can I express this? And how do I feel good from this? What do I need to do, Spirit? What do the viewers need to do to continue on this path here? I have the Ten of Wands, and I have the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords reversed. You can view your turmoils as achievements or as burdens. That's totally up to you. Again, it's a mindset, and it's yours. It's not mine. It's yours. If you recognize that your mindset's, on average, shift to a more negative connotation, there's your sign to shift your mindsets and start practicing. So anytime something happens, you're like, that's stupid. Again, you say that again in your mind. Like whatever you do by default, by nature, however you respond to situations, the next time you respond that way to a situation, you just remember it in your mind and you're like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to try to start shifting to a more positive and kind mindset. And then you've already had this thought, so don't be mad at yourself. Time's already passed. You're like, okay, I didn't do a good job last time. I'll do better next time. Next time a shitty situation happens, I'm not going to react. I'm going to learn how to respond. And then you actually start to think before you respond. It's very interesting. And it only takes like 1 or 2 practice tries, and it works, man. It really works. If you just tell yourself what you want to do and then just wait, don't force it, it will provide. The Ace of Swords reverse is telling us either lacking of confidence or intellectual abilities, just not feeling too adequate to others. It's telling us a lot of things, but it's also, I'm feeling decisions are going against you. All right? So, or it can feel like that. For you and the cards, I'm saying that you have all this purpose, you have this idea, you want to expand, but the cards are stacking up against you. And so it's feeling difficult. Kind of 3 different messages here as well, with the 5 of Pentacles and the 2 of Wands going up and down. I'm hearing that today might be a good day for broadening your potentialities, all right? Trying something new. Maybe nothing has taken off, period. You don't feel good about anything. You're at ground zero, and you've been at ground zero for a very long time, and that's how you know and experience, and you're doing your best, and it's tough, and you're trying every day to gain and gain and gain and grow and grow and grow, and it seems like shit, I'm not really going anywhere, and I'm exhausted. Practice your gratefulness. Under the fulfillment 9 of Cups, we have the Ace of Swords reversed. So be happy for the challenges ahead of you that you're experiencing, and be okay if they don't work, because something is going up against us, whether it's mentally, whether it's external to me, to self, not me. But there's something that is a challenge. Lining up with the Strength or Lust card underneath is the 10 of Wands. So it is a challenge to push into your strength. This is why we want to practice physical activity. I swear to God, as within, so without. So why don't you biohack it? And if you want a better external experience, work on your internal. Work on your vehicle. Again, I'll say this. When's the last time you met a actually fit? I'm not saying like blue collar muscle, like this guy's been working his whole life because he's been homeless. But when's the last time you met a homeless person that was like in an active, fit lifestyle of health? When? Probably never. Probably never saw a homeless guy being like, I'm going to go to the gym, and after that, I'm going to make a Vitamix smoothie and protein smoothie with collagen and feel really good and get all my omegas. And, oh, no, I'm good. I don't need $1. No, I'm eating, all vegan, nice, healthy. The guy's 50. Looks like he's 33, Like, no, you don't see that for a reason. Physical activity is an immense biohack. Like, really, if you don't use it, you lose it, and you've been gifted a body, period. You've been gifted a 3-dimensional experience, period. So outside of this body, everything is a piece of you, somehow, some way. And the universe is like, be grateful for that. It's all you got. You only got one body. It works. It helps give you strength. It helps these burdens become achievements in the end. You feel better about where you're going and how you're doing it. And with the 10 too, the end is in sight. The end is near. Your turmoils will be concluding on this specific aspect, at least to the heaviness in which they are being presented currently as we're transitioning from one path to another, one chapter to another. The universe is guiding us through these. Energies to be careful of for today. 2 of Wands. Careful of arguments. We have 2 of Wands today also. Watch out for negative self-judgments today. If you make a choice and you know it's a bad one, that's okay. If it's going to not make you flip out and you want it, need it, like it, whatever, you're making your own choices. Okay? And only you really guilt trip yourself. Just know that we're working on bettering ourselves. So it's not like being down on yourself for something. It's just try again. Watch out for false love. Watch out for lust. And this Two of Wands real quick. I want to check this one out real quick too. Especially as a blockage card. I don't usually do tons of blockage like that. So, wait a second. I don't want to say that. Consider what helps you on your path and any issues that hold you back. But as this blockage card, be careful of making big decisions today. We go easy on ourselves. Okay, I see you. We go easy on ourselves. One step at a time. This channel is going to probably start to become like some motivational mantra because I'm saying the same things all the time, which is turtle wins the race. And like that Atomic Habits book, I swear, read it. It's one of the best books I've ever read, just as far as putting into perspective this whole trying every single day. And it takes me, this achiever, this like grandiose dreamer, and it makes me go, okay, well, that's big. And if I go and attack all of that, I'm going to fail. But if I tackle one reading today for the viewer, I've accomplished so much. And then that'll start to get the ball rolling to the next thing. So we want to watch out for false distractions, false loves, false lusts, people coming to you and using you. There's a difference between also allowing people in your energy versus accepting people into your energy. That's a social difference there. That's where, like, if there's somebody you don't like, the energy's around you, but you have to be around them, that's where you start to apply your emotional discipline, your mental discipline. You refrain from reacting. You refrain from projecting. You refrain from anything that affects another being. You keep it to yourself, and you find an outlet elsewhere. And it doesn't have to be with a person, too. It can be with things. It can be with anything. It can be with a daily duty you have to do or a weekly routine you have to do. That you're like, God, fuck this thing. Why do I do this thing? Find a way why you like this thing. When I first started my job, there's these 3 machines that we use. And there's 3 men that run these machines every day. We used to cycle through them, but when I was first this job, I had no idea how these machines worked. So they put me on one of the easiest spots first in my training days. Makes sense. Then after I did that, and they understood that I got that down, they moved me to the more advanced machines. Well, there's this one right in the middle that I hated to use. I don't know why. I did not like it. I didn't understand the rhythm of it. I couldn't get in the flow with it, and it just really intimidated me in general, this one machine. I was like, this is the stupidest thing ever. One day I woke up and I was like, why is this? Why do I have such resistance to this machine? And through that, I made friends with this machine. I'm not saying that like mystically or anything. No, seriously, that machine is my spot now. I love that machine. I prefer to be on that machine. That is my favorite machine on the whole line that we're working on. And the rhythm of it is perfect. I've gotten a good relationship with it. I'm grateful for that because I had the strength to push through it a little bit, and I didn't let all the other outside distractions really nag at me enough to dishearten me. Or I also didn't nag other people enough, being like, I don't like it. No, dude. I was quiet and I figured it out. I was stoic and quiet and patient. And every single day, every single moment, I was like, I don't know why I don't like this thing. I don't know why I don't like this thing. I can't get my hand around it. I was intimidated by it. I didn't like it somehow. I love it now. It's my favorite thing. And you have the full capacity and capabilities of the same kind of things. You're a human being too. So, a little story to end off this reading with you, a little example of kind of what we're getting at. Stay home, stay inward, somehow, some way. The world is everything you need. You've already been provided for. So you're never without. And if you feel without, this is why we practice gratefulness. This is why we start to look for the things that fuel us as opposed to the things that deplete us. And if there's something that is constantly just grabbing your focus every single day, like that's your attention grabber, TV, adult films, doom scrolling, majority of them for us nowadays are screen based. So that's a big tell right there too. That's a quick, easy answer. If you want to find more answers for yourself, stop the distractions. You've done enough research already about mind, body, and soul. It's time to put the phone away for a minute and sit in silence for about 10 minutes. You haven't done that in the last 2 years while you've been trying to gather information to get the next thing. No, it's all cerebral. You want to get out of your mind and get into your body, get into your physicality. You want to stop thinking and start being, and how you be is act. Because you're not really ruminating and you're not really overthinking if you're doing something because you don't want to screw that thing up, like that's the other quick biohack to all of this. I've recognized my mind works very, very hard, and for a few years I didn't understand. I was like, yo, is this what it's always going to be like? I don't like this. And Spirit's like, we'll show you. And then one day they're like, it's because you're not doing, you're thinking, which is causing feelings. But you're just mentally exhausting yourself at that point. You have to give your mind a break too and practice things like spirit and body. You have to. And if you're over exacerbated in any ways, that's probably a good sign to start focusing on some other fields as well. From a mental aspect, you will never lose the knowledge or wisdom that you've already accumulated. So it's okay to take a break. From a body's point, it's got muscle memory. Same thing as mind memory. Same thing. Well, not the same thing. That's for a different video for the spirit, but we're going to get into that later. Are we complete here, Spirit? We are complete here with this reading. I appreciate you sitting with me. This is a long daily spread, but I hope that it met you perfectly for you today. I'm going to take a deep breath as I disconnect to help lock in these energies and help us move throughout the day. These energies are meant for you if you so choose to accept them. Take a deep breath with me if you would like. If not, enjoy. Thanks, Spirit. All right. That's going to close it out for today. Thank you again for receiving me. We are complete. And until next time, much love.